Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, peoplings, earthlings everywhere. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, or as good as you possibly can. Right, the subject of today's video is very much Meghan's public, how her public business is going. Where's the camera? There's the camera. How her public persona, they talk about brand a lot, don't they? And I assume that part of what they mean when they talk about brand is money, how much money a particular brand can make. And she's going to do something South by Southwest, which apparently Archwell Productions has paid for. So it's not like she's been invited to somebody else's thing to do. I've got to say, it doesn't grip me, really. I've read the general idea, the synopsis of it. It sounds like something from the days of the suffragettes, where women were fighting for the vote, which we as women, or our four women, succeeded in getting many, many, many years ago. So I'm not sure that we really need the Duchess of Sussex and a panel of, I don't know, Brooke Shields is one of them, isn't she? And I don't know the names of the other people. But I mean, I see the synopsis of it is that they're going to discuss stereotypes. So it's like an archetype. I know archetype doesn't mean that, but stereotypes of working mothers, women in the workplace, etc., etc. Yawn fest. I don't really know why the world needs a Duchess who was a D-list actress, not being rude, but, you know, she was not a Hollywood actress, who's basically the only reason we all know what her name is because of who she married. And the rank that got her, the title that got her. It's not like she's strived or overcome adversity, you know, in a man's world. She's a woman in a man's world. Well, I suppose she is a woman in a man's world, isn't she? And she married a man. You know, first it was Daddy who helped her. Then it was Trevor, her first husband, who helped her. That was another marriage. Then it was the chef, wasn't it? Corey Vitiello. Then it was Marcus Anderson. Now she married Harry. It's not really like she's a suffragette who has fought for women's rights. Apart from as a child writing some dish soap commercial type thing, is it? So I'm not quite sure why we all need a lecture it's a bit like getting a lecture off Prince Harry about how to be successful and a multi-millionaire. Just be born into it. That's how he did it. It was easy. I was just born and I was rich and famous, you know. Literally no effort whatsoever involved in that. And she married the accident of birth. And that's what it is. I don't mean Harry was an accident. Maybe I do. And I mean, we can't help what we're born into, can we, any of us? And perhaps that's what she means. Maybe she's just going to get up on the stage and say, well, just marry into royalty, marry a title. That's how I did it. That's how I succeeded. No one knew very few people knew who she was before she was with Harry. Now everybody all over the world knows. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I do see that she is like not grasping, that's not the right word. She's not struggling, she's floundering. She's invested money in this Clever Blends thing. And I see in page 6, bless them, they're offering discount vouchers. So your starter kit won't cost $80 anymore. It'll only cost $69.99 or something for some sort of coffee that actually doesn't have any coffee in it. It's made of mushrooms. And okay, there might be mushroom tea, a mushroom coffee out there that has medicinal benefits. I don't know, there might be. But I don't think Clever Blends is it. So she's invested in that. She's had to join in with commercials, and now they're offering 15% discount, which did make me think it's like an act of desperation. It's really shrinking faster than I even thought it would. And as I say, they've got the Lemonada thing coming up, where she's going to carry on with the archetypes stuff and continue to give us all lectures and excellent advice on how to succeed in life, which basically in her instance is summed up by she married a prince. She married into the British royal family. That is the essence, that is the substance. There will be no getting away from that. If she really meant it, you know, I'm a woman in a world struggling, she would say, I don't want those titles. I'm American. Titles in America don't mean anything. I don't want them. Be done with them. And Prince Harry would have done the same as well. They would have been, we're out in the big wide world and we're making our way. But that they're not doing that, are they? There is a trade on the titles. And I also see ridiculous puff pieces about how she's reached out to Catherine. Just more and more. I don't buy any of that. I'm not buying any of it. It's bullshit. And I see that basically the way I see it, and I could be completely wrong, but this is how it looks to me. The money, she's desperate to get money coming in. She needs an income. Quick, you know, let's do some adverts for Clever Blends. Quick, let's offer some discount for Clever Blends. We got to push Clever Blends. Oprah promoted it in 2021. Well, we're in 2024 now. Oprah hasn't said a word. Yum, yum, yum. I thought she had that drink every day and that it was marvellous. Is it still on her list of favourite things 3 years later? I don't know. 1 minute they're doing Netflix and then the next minute there's nothing. There just doesn't appear to be anything appearing on Netflix. So as branding goes, it's not going very well, is it? It's really, really shrinking. And the best she's got is either walking in a car park with pap shots, or sometimes she's photographed cooking something, I don't know, or being in a car, or picking up an award, or giving a lecture, that kind of, and that's it. That's it. There is no more substance than that, which is such a terrible shame. I'm surprised that they didn't branch out into some sort of wine or vineyard or something like that, living in California, you know? Or that they didn't build their own ranch in the middle of nowhere, which they could have turned into, not Disneyland or Neverland, but they could have turned it into a really lovely Californian ranch where people could come and visit and taste wine. And obviously it would have the little added bit of, you know, they're members of the British royal family. Like it or not, they are. They're still members of the family. But no, they're going to be on like some... The way I see Lemonardia is the equivalent of like a local radio station. So they've gone from way up there with Spotify, and of course the guy called them fucking grifters, and now they're down on Lemonardia. I see they're involved with something called the 19th. Now I've heard that name before, the 19th. They did something with them, a few years ago. I vaguely remember the name. And please don't bother reminding me what it was all about, because I'm really not, I'm not interested. I mean, all the things that she does, do you know, I couldn't name, like, I can't remember the name of the guy that takes all the pictures of her. I can't remember the names of the jewellery that she wears. I can't remember the names of the clothes she wears. Everything is just banal, 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 boring, boring, boring. And it's just this same old PR game where it's like, throw some stuff out there, something's got to take. And she looks to me like a woman who's quite desperate at the moment to earn a buck or two, and that if she doesn't earn a buck or two, I don't know if they've sold any property that they've invested in. Who knows if they live in that Montecito mansion, or if they've sold that, they've downsized, what the hell they're doing. Doubt very much if they're living together. Doubt that very, very much. Ever since the, what was that couple called that finally admitted that they'd split up? Was it Meryl Streep who finally, it was yeah, I think Meryl Streep did as well. Said, I split up with my husband years ago, just didn't tell anybody, we just pretended we're together. Was it her? And, of course, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, they admitted, we've been split up for about 6 years. So, I mean, I feel that's the situation with Harry. I'm still of the opinion he's not going to get any bailouts from the king. He's floundering. That's why she's offering discount on Clever Blends. Oh, my goodness. She'd been weaving baskets out of her own hair necks, won't she, and selling them on Etsy, or making soap, royal soap, royal jelly, or something like that. Oh my God. I mean, how far can you fall from having literally the world at your feet? They could have met Hollywood stars, they could have met world leaders, they could have met, they could have literally met anybody. anybody. They would have had the world eating out of their hand if they hadn't been thrown out. Sorry, they left. They escaped, didn't they? My opinion, I think they must have been thrown out. If they weren't thrown out, then they're both insane or they're both stupid. Take your pick. But I mean, so this South by Southwest, and I'm going to make an admission here. I'm probably not going to listen to it. So I thought I'd do the video now. I'm not going to listen to it because I have found a show on Netflix. Yes, I know, Netflix, bad. But I think the Netflix is going to announce pretty soon. They're nothing to do with her. A TV show has been released today, finally, a decent one, called The Gentleman. And I think some of you guys, if you have Netflix, would very much enjoy it. It's all about a young, handsome duke who has a stately home. And as these things turn out, you know, stately homes cost money and there are always complications. And it turns out he has to get involved with a load of gangsters. And it's really good. It's 8 episodes. So I'm binge watching that. And then I just had a quick glance and I saw this, she's got this thing coming up. And I'm sorry, The Gentleman or Meghan giving me a lecture about how to succeed in life and how to shake off. Oh, and the other thing they're quoting that she's going to say is, no, what was it they said? She's going to address social media use. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. I'm very glad to hear that. I wonder if she'll mention Sarah Data or Christopher Boozy or the mental health of people out there who've been affected by sugars and fanatical fans of hers. I wonder if she'll mention that. Apparently emphasis is going to be on young girls' mental health. Now, yes, that's important, but young boys' mental health is just as important. Middle-aged, both genders. Older, both genders. I think it's everybody's mental health is very, very, very important. So it'd be nice to hear her address that, but I doubt she will. Do you think she'll say, oh, we shouldn't have like death threats and shit like that on the internet or vicious rumours which might upset people or hurt people? No, I don't think she's going to say anything like that. Well, we'll see. Will she wear beige? Will she wear a colour? Will there be pat walks in the car park before from this highly talented woman who basically became world famous by marrying a prince? That's the nub of her success. And as princes go, I'm probably not going to finish that sentence. I'll let you guys finish that sentence for me. Oh, we've all heard it. You kiss a frog, you know, turns into a prince, or you kiss a prince and he turns into... But that's the harsh reality. The only thing that Meghan Markle is really famous for, that she's achieved, is she bagged Prince Harry. She married a prince. Personally, I don't care what advice she's got to give. I don't need her advice, okay? I don't know if you guys need her advice. I don't need any lectures. And I don't feel stereotyped at all. I don't feel that I need some 1950s housewife, which is what she seems to be. She's stuck in a time warp way back when. I don't need to hear lectures from that, whether she wears beige or not. I'm sure it will be riveting. I give my thoughts and prayers to the audience members that have to sit through that for whatever reason, punishment that have been sent there. And like I say, I don't mean to be mean, but I mean, it is just like Skid Row all the way. Gets worse and worse. I suppose that's why I do less and less videos. I just can't look a lot of the time. And obviously I don't know her as a person. I have no idea what she's like. She could be the loveliest woman in the world, but what I'm looking at is her, as she likes to say, brand. I'm looking at the brand, the product. In fact, today we have commercials on Netflix. We had the king of hair dyes and makeup, L'Oreal, you know, because I'm worth it. And I laughed and I thought, oh, she'd give her hind teeth, wouldn't she, for an advert like that? But no, she's busy on Lemonada and on some... I'm sorry if South by Southwest is something famous in America. I've vaguely heard the term, but I don't know what this committee, this presentation, this conference, and I'm not interested either. Please don't bother to explain. I know it will be something really banal, really boring, really pointless. It's not going to advance mankind in any way, shape or form. It's just a way of a platform for her to try and get her name out there. Because clearly WME, who she's been with now nearly a year, have not managed to get her any work, have they? Otherwise we'd have heard all about it. I'm not seeing the Lady by the Lake, whatever it is, Netflix thing. The Spotify thing, of course, that's over and finished and done with. I'm not hearing anything about any Penguin Random House books. I'm not hearing anything about 40 by 40, that big initiative that she started on her 40th birthday was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago now? I can't remember how old she is. I'm not seeing any of those things come to fruition. I'm not seeing Tom Cruise wanting to work for her, despite the fact years ago Sunshine Sachs put out puff pieces saying, if anyone can persuade Meghan back to acting, it's Tom Cruise. I'm not seeing her with Angelina Jolie. There were equal puff pieces. I'm not seeing her with Brad Pitt or Jennifer Aniston or any of the other A-listers that there were all the puff pieces about with the Sunshine Sachs. I'm not seeing Hollywood picking her up. I'm not seeing the White House. I'm sorry, I'm not. I know a lot of people feel she's going to be used as a political tool. I think possibly she was at one point, but her brand is so toxic now, they don't want to touch her with a barge pole. She couldn't get a lift on Air Force One, let's put it that way, with the Bidens, could she? So I'm just not seeing anything. What I am seeing is a discount garage sale of Clever Blends. And Lemonada, when you go and look at their Twitter account, they don't have very many followers. I think I'm just behind them by, maybe 4,000 friends. And I don't know how many Clever Blends has got. I don't think they've got that many either. So, not even the giddy heights of when she was doing the TIG and Suits. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions, and if any of you can grit your teeth and bear it, or other YouTubers can watch the South by Southwest thing, and I'm just going to sit back and watch it tomorrow after I've finished binge watching this fabulous The Gentleman, which, trust me, you'd love it. If you like royal family, you like aristocrats, you love that type of thing, and if you enjoyed the film Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, it's a Guy Ritchie production. So that's what I'm planning on doing with my evening this evening. And I hope you're going to do something equally productive or entertaining other than watching the Duchess of Beige. As always, thank you very much for listening, and we continue to watch the unfolding and downfall of Meghan Markle.